Hello strangers and friends, welcome to Sometimes I Make Things. My name is Grace and today we are going to Knit City, Canada.
Let's go!
Woo! Kind of feels like we're at an airport. Alright, Corinne, we did it. You had fun?
Yeah, it's good. I bought too many things.
No such thing. Gotta show proof of knit fit. Ooh, that is still pretty hot. We'll give the tea a minute. Hey friends, how's it going? How you doing? Today I was feeling very inspired by Marlene Knits here on YouTube. She did a couple videos of fiber festival events where she put a montage first at the beginning and then sat and had some tea and just talked about it, and I thought that was very nice cozy vibe, so I am copying her style for this video. As you saw from my little bit of footage that I had there, last weekend I went to Knit City, Toronto with my friend Corinne, and it was lovely. We are now a week out. I've had time to process, and yeah, let's have a little chat about it. Gotta readjust. Get cozy, get comfy, get your knits. If you are new here, this is Sometimes I Make Things, and it is a YouTube podcast vlog style channel, mostly about knitting, but we do some other crafts around here as well. My name is Grace, I am your host, and let's get into it. So Knit City is one of the largest fiber events in Canada. There's a few different venues they'll go to. Last year it was at Montreal, this year it was at Toronto. There's also one in Vancouver and Calgary, and I believe each year they alternate venues. So last year's Montreal, this year's Toronto, next year will be Montreal again. which would be another fun trip to do. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, it's a very large venue. It attracts, I think there was over 100 vendors there. It was a large venue. It was the conference room of a hotel, and tons of people were there. It was a hopping spot. There was so much to see. I felt like it was at my high end of acceptable for crowded. Like if it had been more crowded than it was, I might have been a little, whoop. But I felt comfortable in the environment. I think the vendors had a little more to deal with than I did as a shopper, obviously, because they had to be on the whole time. So I think some of them looked a little wide-eyed at the event, but I think everyone was having a positive experience and getting a lot of customers in their booth, which is what you want when you're a vendor at a festival. Corinne and I had a great day. We started with having a nice pancake breakfast, which I strongly recommend. If you want to do pancakes for breakfast, make the batter the night before. Don't put the baking powder or baking soda, whatever your recipe calls for, in. Save that for the morning, mix that in, heat up your pan. By the time your pan's ready to go, that chemical reaction has happened. You're gonna get nice fluffy pancakes with the convenience of having the batter already made. So that's my cooking pro tip. So we had a lovely pancake breakfast. We took the GO train in, which is super convenient. The location of Knit City was at Western Harbor Castle, which is a very short walk from Union Station. So the GO train made tons of sense for commuting in. Actually, as we were arriving, we had gone a little bit past where we were supposed to go for the building, and we just saw this wall of knitters coming at us, and it was like, okay, well, we're just gonna follow these people and we should be able to get in. So we did end up going in through like a back entrance, which was kind of funny because it was a locked door, but someone was exiting, so we just kept the door open and just a bunch of people went in. We were like a flock of sheep. We were like, follow the leader, let's get in here, get to the location. And we ended up getting up fine. We had to go up like 3 flights of stairs to get to the main lobby area, and then that's where the event was. But we made it, we survived. Check-in was pretty good. I should say that I had kind of been waffling on whether or not I would go to Knit City. It's obviously a big event, and there was going to be a lot of people there that I would know, but just a lot's been going on in my life the last little bit, and I wasn't sure if another event was what was needed. But Ancient Arts Yarn was doing a draw on their Instagram, like comment on our post and I'll get a chance to win a guest ticket. And I was like, why not? So I entered their giveaway and I won their giveaway. So I got into Knit City for free thanks to Ancient Arts Yarn, which was great. So I made sure to stop in at their booth and thank them. And then I showed them at the end, like everything I had purchased while at the festival. And we had a nice chat. They're lovely people and they came all the way out from Alberta to be here. So it was nice to get to see them in person. I have some Ancient Arts yarn in some of my projects, so it just felt like a nice full circle moment for that to work out. So special shout out to Ancient Arts Yarns. Check them out. The show itself, as I mentioned, was quite busy, but it was busy with friends, which was lovely. We ran into so many Knit Night friends. There was a lot of selfies, there was a lot of smiles, a lot of hugs. That was lovely. I actually literally bumped into my cousin. I like bumped her arm and she turned around and said sorry. And then I was like, I know you. And then we like happily hugged and it was a very beautiful moment. So I knew that she was going to be there, but we didn't like make a specific plan to meet up with each other. So it was lovely to quite literally bump into her. And I will say towards the end, I definitely was feeling a little overstimulated. I hadn't been really able to leave the house for a little bit beforehand. And I've been a bit of a shut-in lately, so it was my first kind of big outing in a bit. So I think my emotional levels were also a little off. There's just been some like personal life things happening, as they like to do. So it was a big outing for me based on my energy level and my mental abilities at the time, but I'm really happy I went. I definitely was feeling like, okay, I'm ready to go home at the end and like sit and let's have some food and have a tea and calm down. And once I got home, I felt a lot better, but I will admit towards the end, I was a little bit like, there's so much to see and there are so many people here. And one thing I will say, it didn't feel like there was a really great like lounge spot, which fair enough, like the venue's already big enough as it is, but it really felt like it would have been nice to have some better spots for sitting and knitting. And maybe I just didn't see those. Maybe there were some people that had a great time doing a little knit circle. But that was just something that I brought knitting with me and I didn't end up actually sitting down and knitting at all at the event, which I felt like would have been a nice little vibe to include. But that's okay. I can knit in my own space on my own time. Okay, I think the tea has cooled down to a acceptable temperature now. I don't talk about tea as much on this channel, but I am a big tea fan, and I did do some tea shopping a few weeks before Knit City. So let's go through the Knit City haul, which is everybody's favorite part, and then let's do an additional tea haul for my tea heads. As I said before, I wasn't really planning on going to this event, so I hadn't really budgeted for this event. So let's talk about the free stuff that I got. So first off, which I am very excited about this, I got this Knitty pin. So it says Knitty Ambassador, ask me, and it says is free in the middle on that app there. So for those of you who don't know, Knitty is a free online magazine. They publish every quarter, so 4 times a year. They do a seasonal update. They've been going for over 20 years. This magazine started in the early 2000s. Every pattern in there, every article is completely free to read. However, the contributors do get paid, which I think is a lovely trade-off. So if you're a new designer and you want to access a new crop of people and you want to offer a pattern for free, but you still want to be compensated for your work, I think this is a really great place to get started. So Knitty is completely funded by patrons and people in the community who just appreciate and value their contribution to the community. So I'm a big fan of Knitty. I got this because I went up to the booth and I said, oh, thank you, I love Knitty, and I've actually recently started a Knitty pattern. So they're like, those are the magic words, you get a pin. And they also gave me some business cards. So as I was walking around, if anyone asked me about my pin, I could hand out a business card and be an ambassador for Knitty, which I was super down for because I think Knitty is great. So all of their patterns are on Ravelry, and if you, like me, are a free pattern fan, you might accidentally already have some Knitty published patterns in your library saved, because a surprising amount of free patterns that are on Ravelry are somehow connected to Knitty. If you do not use Ravelry, or you can't use Ravelry, they have an entirely separate website and all the patterns are on there. So you don't even need to touch Ravelry and you can access all of these great free patterns. So they've got accessories, they've got toys, they've got garments, they've got hats. I guess I said accessories already. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Knitty, and the project that I am making from Knitty, we are keeping on the DL. It is a secret project, but you will hear about it eventually in the future, but I'm enjoying it. It's a good time. I'm excited about it. The other freebie that I got was a very unexpected freebie, and it is this sticker from the Wandering Flock. I don't know if she's focusing, but you get the idea. It's a holographic sticker, which I don't know if the flash shows up as well on camera, but basically they said we ordered these stickers to sell and they came in smaller than we thought, so they didn't feel good selling them. So they were just handing them out the booth, which was lovely. As you might guess, it's a few hours later. My phone was full of storage and I was having a little trouble figuring that out. I realized I had to empty my trash, so that helped. But here we are, made up a little cuter, and I'm going to show you everything that I got, that I purchased, not the freebies. So first things first, I got this lovely merch of Knit City. It's this drawstring bag, and it feels like a good sturdy material. I have been on a bit of a bag buying binge lately. Well, a friend gifted me one for my birthday, which is very cute, and I got a chicken themed one. I'll see about throwing a photo in. And then I've gotten this one. So I'm very good on the bag front now. I need to not buy any more bags, but how could you resist? I love the pink and the red. So that was my first purchase. My second purchase were these lovely silk linen skeins from Alley Cat Yarns. Melissa is a member of our Knit Night group, so it felt really good to support her and her family. These ones are 65% linen, 35% silk. They are 50 gram skeins with 245 yards each. So allegedly, these two should be enough to make a little tank top camisole. I have a vision in my mind of doing purple on one side, yellow on the other, and then an intarsia split line down the middle, and then same on the back, so it's kind of like checkerboarded in a way, and just a very simple. I think Crayabea, Rebecca Cloud, is releasing the Tulsta tank, so the plan is to try and knit the Tulsta tank camisole version using these. We will see how it goes. My friend Carolyn messaged me. She also has this yarn and she was like, hey, how about we do a little knit along together? So that's the plan, is we're both gonna knit a Tulsta tank using our yarn babies here. If that doesn't end up working out and this isn't enough yarn and it's a problem, my backup is to get a skein of light gray of this and do a moonset. Is it moonset? Moonset tank. Jacqueline Cieslak. It's the one where there's the orb on either side and then the section down the middle. So that'll be my backup plan if this ends up not being enough, but I've had a vision of a purple-yellow split tank for a while in my mind, so dreams become reality. Next up, I got this cute little spindle. I don't know what brand this is, but Corinne, who is a spinner, said that this is like the beginner spindle. I believe they're made in the States. So I was like, you know what? It's a good time to get this. My other spindle is a 3D printed one by Three Dog Knit. And I did like that one, but it's this big green geometric shape and it's not as aesthetic as a little wooden one. And I think this one's will be a little lighter and I would like to spin a little thinner. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, just a spindle. That was from Coats & Co. I don't think I said that. They did have hand-dyed yarn there, but I just wanted the spindle. And of course, you can't buy a spindle and then not buy fiber. So I got this simply gorgeous skein of 50 grams of Targhee. This is from Allaire Artifacts, right there. And Corinne actually bought this colorway near the beginning, and as we walked around I just kept thinking about it and I was like, yeah, I need it too. So we're gonna be twins with our spins. So I think it'd be really fun someday to like mutually hold up the skeins of yarn that we made from this yarn. So related to fleece, quick detour. I really want to do Tour de Fleece this year, which I believe is end of June into July, and I kind of have basically the goal I have for Tour de Fleece is I just want to do a full spin because I've only done one spin in my life. So I have this one here, which is 50 grams. It's Targhee. I feel like this will be, it's grippy, so I think it'll be pleasant to spin for a beginner. But I really like this, so I want to be practiced working on it so I can make it as pretty as possible, which takes me to my other fiber braid. This here is 100 grams of Malabrigo. The color is called Petrichor. There's some nice lime green in there and orange, and this I also think would be super fun to spin. Merino, I think I said that already. So maybe you can comment below what your thoughts are, but should I do the 100-gram braid to like practice, get myself back in the feel, and then do the braid that I'm just a little more hyped about these colors? Obviously, this is gorgeous as well, but so that I can make this a little prettier, or should I practice on this to get warmed up for this, which it's a 100-gram amount, so it might yield a more useful amount of yarn in the end. So yeah, let me know. Colorful Targhee or colorful merino, moody merino, how about that? Which do you think I should do first? Small amount, color that I like a little bit more, larger amount, maybe more useful, color I still adore, but a little less excited about. Let me know. All right, and then the final piece that I got were these beautiful earrings. I love these so much. These are from Woodlot. I think they were in Owen Sound. I could be wrong about that, but they're slightly more northern Ontario. And they collect fallen wood on their property and then process them into earrings. So these are spalted maple, and it's on a sterling silver backing, which fits very comfortably. These are very light. I love the way they move around, and they really do look, this is a butterfly wing cut is how they described it, and it really does look like a butterfly's patterning on the wood there. So I love these. Like, it feels like I'm not even really wearing anything besides I can feel the movement, but wonderful. Wood as a material, fantastic for earrings. So yeah, that was my little Knit City haul. Very happy with it. My mom, it was very sweet. As we left, she gave me some money and she's like, here's your grad gift. And I was like, oh, thank you. So basically everything I bought was that grad gift money, except the Knit City bag was $15 extra on top of that. So as far as my budget goes, I only spent $15 of my money, so I felt pretty good about that. We had a lovely time, and it was really delightful to go with someone else who was shopping, so I could kind of get some vicarious shopping enjoyment through Corinne as well. She picked up some phenomenal pieces, beautiful, beautiful. If she lets me, I'll put in a photo of what she got here. So yeah, definitely would go again. So as I mentioned before with my tea, I have my Knit City haul, but also recently I purchased some tea. So I figured we could end up this video, chat about the tea that I picked up, and close it out from there. Sound like a plan? Here's the tea bag. So for me, basically, once I graduated high school, I was very much in a tea era. Like me and a friend, it was our passion, it was our hobby. We talked about tea all the time. It was lovely. And that was back in the big era of David's Tea. David's Tea is still around, but there's not nearly as many stores now as there were then. And Teavana was still a thing before it got bought up by Starbucks. So it was a really good time to be into tea. And then later on, I was into this store called Wisdom Tea, which was in London, Ontario, but they closed down. The owner sold, and then the new owner just didn't want to operate a physical business anymore. It is what it is. So I've kind of been floating in a sea of who's my tea guy for a little bit, because you know, you need a good source and you want to support a good business. But I finally found a place, which is very funny because it's like a 20-year-old business, but I finally found a place and I'm really excited about the tea I got there. So it's called the Tea House. It's in London, Ontario, and I got 10 teas from them when I went earlier this year with my mom. It was nirvana. I was so happy to be there. So let's go through. So I feel like the problem with tea is that I can't let you smell this as I go through it. But this one is called Ice Dance Blend. I'm not a big herbal tea person, but this has like every herbal tea in it, so if I'm in the mood for herbal, I can have it. So it's apple, rosehip, raspberry, lemon, verbena, lemongrass, elderberry, fennel, hibiscus, orange peel, cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, cornflowers, and natural flavors. If you want a herbal tea, this is every herbal tea. So this one's been a hit. A lot of people have liked this one. I would get this one again, Ice Dance Blend. This one is called Swiss Chocolate, so it's just a black tea with some chocolate flavoring. I bought this one because I wanted to mix it with strawberry. So strawberry, Swiss chocolate, and then already at home I had a rose flavored black tea called Rose Kongu. So chocolate, strawberry, rose was a tea flavor from David's Tea called Love Tea No. 7, and they discontinued it. RIP, it was the best tea ever. So I've been trying for a while to try to recapture that, and that's been a really nice combo. The strawberry is very light. It definitely has like an artificial strawberry smell to it, but it's a very delicate flavor. And then the Swiss chocolate, again, it's not like it's gonna taste like hot chocolate. It is tea, but it has a chocolatiness to it. So it's been a very nice, like it's just the aroma is good. So that blend of 3 is what I was drinking earlier, and it's a delight. Very happy with those. Next up, this is pear cream tea. So this is a black tea. It has apple cubes, fennel, orange peels, calendula petals, and natural pear cream flavor. There's no dairy in the cream flavored teas at the Tea House. I don't know how they make it taste that way, but it does have a creamy aftertaste, which I really like. Pear cream tea though, don't really love it. I mentioned fennel was an Ice Dance Blend, but I'm not a big fennel person. It's kind of a licoricey flavor. And then the pear, it really does taste like pear on the initial notes, but I realized I think I like pear because I like the texture of pears. I don't really like pear because of the flavor of pear so much. So this one, I was excited to try it, but a dear friend of mine loves pears. So whenever she comes over next, I'm going to get her to try it. And if she likes it, I'm going to send it home with her. So yeah, this one I want to try it, but not necessarily for me, but if you like pears, pear cream tea. Next up is peppermint. So I'm not a big peppermint person, but it's the #1 tea that people ask me for. When I have someone over, I'm like, oh, well, like, I'm a tea lady. What kind of tea would you like? They always ask me for mint. I'm like, fine. So, I mean, I respect and I appreciate mint tea. It's just not my biggest. I find that I need it to be steeped for like 30 seconds or like a minute max, or it tastes too bitter to me. I just don't like the over steeped mint flavor. But you know what? I listen to my guests, so I got mint tea, people pleaser. Alrighty, and then, ooh, I do like this one. Another black tea. I love black tea. It's my favorite. Passion fruit. This one, nice fruity flavor. I actually haven't drank this one very often, so I kind of forget how it tastes, but it's fruity in a pleasant way. Passion fruit is my favorite flavor. I love passion fruit. Candy, bubble tea, gelato. If there's passion fruit, I'm taking the passion fruit. I love it. So yeah, this one's a nice little summery one. I think this would be really good as an iced tea with some lemon in it. Alrighty, and then this one is a little tiny bitty baby. This is lemon cream rooibos. So it's green rooibos. I'm not generally a rooibos person, but the tea lady I was talking to said, hey, have you tried green rooibos? And then calendula petals and natural lemon cream flavor. This tastes like lemon curd. It is so nice. It was the first tea that we tried actually once we'd gotten home, and I was shocked by it. Like, it's got that nice creamy aftertaste. It's very like, it does smell like lemon pledge. Like, it is lemony, but very nice. So if you like lemon cream rooibos, highly recommend. I would get more of this. I just got a 10-gram sample because I didn't know if I would like rooibos. But yeah, the green rooibos, it's a little fresher tasting than the red rooibos, which is a little more earthy. And then I got some hojicha, which is a green tea that's been roasted. I thought I would like the hojicha more. I think kukicha, I'm blanking on the names, but there's a twig tea, and I really like the twig tea. It was very grassy. Like, kukicha tasted like a freshly mown lawn, which for me, I was like, that's great. Whereas this, it's roasted, so it does have like a brown flavor to it, which I don't know if that's a good way to describe a roasted flavor. But like, yeah, it's a little fiery. I don't know if smoky's the right word. I'm not the best at describing flavors. But I thought I was gonna really like hojicha, but I think I just twisted them in my brain. It's not as like fresh tasting, but it's still enjoyable. I feel like this is a good like winter green tea where she's got a little more to her than your typical green tea. It's very cozy cabin cottage fire in the hearth energy, this one. So I got a good amount of it. So I'm gonna have this one for a little bit. It's not very summer tea to me, but if you like a very tough, not tough, but roasty green tea, you would probably like hojicha. And then our penultimate tea is Scottish Breakfast. They said that this was one of their best-selling teas there, so you gotta try the bestseller. I mean, people know what they're doing when it comes to tea and popularity. I like this one. It's just a good, strong black tea that you'd have in the morning. Think of it like Tetley tea, but better. So it's just a little stronger and very wholesome. So this is just a blend of black teas based on what the Scottish sensibility is around their morning tea. And then the final tea that I got is chili chocolate. So similar to the Swiss chocolate, it's a black tea with chocolate, but it also has, let's see here, red pepper, chili pepper, and natural chocolate chili flavor, non-dairy. It has cocoa shells in it and chocolate chips. So this actually is a little spicy. Like, I don't mean spicy in the like kind of way, but like your mouth feels warm, and it's more so than just the temperature of the tea. You feel warmed. So this is really pleasant. I think this tea would be excellent if you brewed it and then mixed hot chocolate powder in, because then it would be like a spicy hot chocolate with a little like black tea kick to it. It'd be so good. So this one, it's not like I'm having this every day for breakfast, but this is kind of a novelty tea to me because it's spicy, it's fun, it's really good. Okay. A tea haul is a little different than my usual stuff, but I figured crafty people tend to appreciate tea, and I love talking about tea, and I love drinking tea, and making people who come to my home drink tea, so I figured it would be a nice little chance to chat about it here. So if any of those appealed to you, or which one you think would be your favorite, please feel free to mention that down below, because I love talking about my teas, and I am so happy with the tea house. If you are in Canada, highly recommend ordering from them. I know they like deliver out, and you can order smaller increments, and they have tons of variety. I don't know what their shipping is like to the States, but it's worth looking into. The Tea House, Haus, very good. I'm thrilled, honestly, to know about their business now, and they've been open the whole time that I've been into tea. I just literally never knew about them. They were even in the same city as my original tea person that I went to, and I had no idea. So I am very happy about that because I got a source now, and I'm excited to try more of their flavors, and they're very knowledgeable staff. I feel like if you asked recommendations based on your palate, they would have tons to sell you on. So yeah, that's my little tea corner. Thank you, as always, for tuning into this episode. I really appreciate the community of the knitting world, and it just felt like that was really realized going to Knit City last weekend and getting to actually see and meet people and talk and hang out in real life. It was lovely. So now that it's the summertime, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, I'd love to hear if you have any knitting festivals that you're planning on attending or your favorite one in your area. Let me know. Let's have a little chat about it. In the meantime, I'm wishing you a very happy end to the month and enjoy your summer, and we will chat again soon. Bye, friends. I figured I would save this part for the more regular viewers of the channel. I don't know if I'm actually ready to say it out loud.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Hi, buddy. Are you a good boy? Yeah, you're a good boy. Trill. Always had a handsome boy. Yeah, Dad's a handsome boy. Trill.
Sir! This video is completely evolving. I feel that we were very lucky to have Trill around as long as we did. And he was a very good companion, and he was my knitting buddy. Both the cats will hang out with me, but he was the one that really, he wanted to sit on my lap while I was knitting. And, you know, it's always a hard thing when it's time to say goodbye to your animals. I thought I had longer with him, but it does bring me peace to know that as soon as he was uncomfortable, he didn't have to deal with that much longer, and he got a lot of attention in his last 10 days of life when we knew that that was what was happening. So he got a lot of attention, he got a lot of treats when he was willing to eat them, and you know, he was with his people, and it was quick, and he did good. I'm gonna miss him a lot. I'm very grateful that all our other pets are healthy, and Milo, his brother, is doing really well, but I just wanted to share that loved him, and he was wonderful, and I'll miss him a lot. And I just wanted to have a little compilation, I think, of him at the end of the video, just to commemorate him and all the times he made appearances. And if there's any Trill fans out there, I wanted them to have a last chance to know about that. And yeah, it's a sad note to end things on, but he was very important to me, so I cared about sharing that. So thank you for watching this part. If you're one of the Sometimes I Make Things true fan club. And yeah, just if you have any animals at home, give them an extra squeeze tonight, and appreciate every moment you have with your loved ones, because sometimes they leave unexpectedly on short notice, and there's nothing that we can do about that, except, you know, love as much as you can for as long as you can. So I'll catch you in the next one, and we will have happier stories to share. Bye.